In this video, I'm going to show you why the future of lead generation advertising lies with AI. And in this video, I'm going to show you an AI lead generation campaign that I built from scratch, all using artificial intelligence in some capacity. I'm going to show you just how powerful this is. And then I'm going to break down exactly how I built it and how you could apply this to your own agency or to your own business in an effective way. I'm going to walk through all the tools and setups that we use to make this work. They're all very affordable. I'm going to show you a live demonstration, and I'm going to jump into the back end and show you just how this is all set up and structured. But before we get on with the video, what I would like to say is the only request that I make is if you enjoy my content, you'd like to learn more about advertising, you'd like to learn more about how to leverage AI within marketing, make sure you hit the subscribe button. My goal is to just grow my subscriber base and just be able to help more people. And when you like and subscribe, it just helps me to increase my channel exposure. So let's jump into my screen. And first, I'm going to start with a live demonstration. See here, we've got two tools. We've got a web browser set up with an example landing page. And then right here, we've got my make flow set up. And I will explain what all this stuff does. But first, I'm just going to click on this button and we're going to fill out the survey. So we've got a multi-step survey here, which is asking a bunch of different questions around the product, which is damp proofing, right? So it's basically the whole. We go back here just to reload this page. You can see that what this is offering is a free at-home damp assessment. Is your home at risk of damp damage? An instant personalized damp risk assessment for your Devon home. Our expert analysis identifies potential issues before they become costly problems. Get my free damp assessment. We're going to click this and we can ask questions. The first one is, what type of home do you live in? So let's just go through and answer some of these questions. So how old is your home? So my home is pre-1930. Click that. Have you ever had damp proofing or ventilation systems installed? I don't actually know, so I'm not sure. What problems have you noticed at home? I've noticed a little bit of damp, none of this really. A little bit of condensation in the windows, but other than that, nothing else. Which rooms are affected? For me, generally kitchen and bathroom. When do these issues seem most noticeable? For me, it's generally during wintertime. Do you regularly open windows, use extractor fans? Sometimes I do. Do you use any of the following at home? I use a dehumidifier, I use central heating, and that is all. So I'm going to click continue. And lastly, what best matches what you see in your home? As I said, black mold in the corner. Then it asks, would you like a free risk assessment with recommended solutions? Yes, I would. And then we've got this personalized page where we can pop in our details. So I'm going to put my details into this page, click get my personalized answers, and you can see it loading here. And if we go on the right, we can now see make loading. So it's grabbed that webhook, which has pulled that data in. It's now analyzed this Google Doc, which I'll explain later. It's now processing an OpenAI completion prompt, and then it's outputting that webhook, and that webhook is sending that data back into our survey. So you can see here, we've got this personalized survey from Lewis, who's one of the managers at this particular company. And it says, hello, Samuel. From the information you've given, it appears your home is primarily experiencing issues related to condensation damp. The presence of black mold and condensation, especially in the kitchen and bathroom during the winter, often indicates poor ventilation and excess indoor humidity are the culprits. Given your pre-1930s terrace house is under certain damp proofing status, it's crucial to improve ventilation, possibly by installing extractor fans or a positive input ventilation PIV system to mitigate these issues effectively. So what this is doing is it's actually diagnosing the problem specific to me, which is hyper-personalized. And it's recommending it's giving recommended solutions that obviously this company can then help us to install. So we've got, additionally, maintaining a consistent level of heating will help reduce temperature differences that contribute to condensation. As you reside in, now this is actually an error, which I need to fix. I'm hoping it to pull the location, a specific location from the postcode. It's not quite doing that right, so we may need to just adjust that in the back end, but eventually you'll get there. As you reside in postcode area, we frequently cover this area and we'll be delighted to offer you a complimentary home damp assessment, usually valued at £99. This will be provided a comprehensive analysis of your home's damp condition along with a specific tailored just for you. Feel free to book in a time for your free assessment below, and we'll ensure that your home is kept safe and healthy. Now, obviously, you could include more on this page, such as maybe like a video at the top. I have tested stuff where you could even include like a personalized video, which uses AI to actually generate the video, which would be obviously unbelievably cool. But I just wanted to keep this simple just to show you guys what this does. We've got what's included in your free assessment. It's signed off by Lewis, and then we can click here to then book in a assessment, and we could then have a link to a calendar where they could directly book in via that calendar. So as you can see, this is actually a pretty cool feature, and it's hyper personalized. And this is just one example of ways which you can do stuff like this using AI. And I feel like this is perfectly done. It's not overdone. Right? We're using AI and it's personalized, but I've seen a lot of people using campaigns where they've got really weird sort of like AI video and it just doesn't quite work. Whereas this is a very nicely personalized outcome. And so what I'm gonna do now is gonna walk you through the structure and setup of how I've set this up in the back end. Okay, for us to understand exactly how this works, I'm just going to kind of diagram it out and explain it to you. So Bolt here, which is this tool here, is a no-code tool, and you might have heard other tools such as Replit, which is a very similar kind of tool to Bolt. It's essentially no-code. So what that means is you can build front-end interfaces, apps, websites by using prompts that you would like, for example, like prompts that you may use with ChatGPT or something along similar lines, right? You've also got tools such as Lovable, which is a very similar tool to Bolt. For this one, I'm using Bolt. Feel free to use any one of the tools. They all work in a very, very similar way. But what Bolt is doing here is we are creating our front end interface. Put FE for front end interface or landing page or questionnaire with Bolt. Okay, and I will show you how I did this in a second with a couple of examples. But in order to be able to get the right Bolt prompt, I input into this a ChatGPT prompt. And the ChatGPT prompt is what generates the prompt, which goes into Bolt. So I go to ChatGPT first, create the prompt, go to Bolt, give it the prompt, and ChatGPT helps me to give it I explain my use case to ChatGPT, and I also explain the branding of the client and all of the information that I need. ChatGPT then generates me the prompt, which I can then pass to Bolt. Now, from Bolt, what we need to do is we need to use a webhook, and basically we ask Bolt to transfer that data via webhook into Make. So we take that data that is inputted in. So once we've completed the survey, once Bolt is done, we've got that survey, the quiz, and all those things. That data needs to be sent to Make via webhook. And then once we're in Make, we then pass that data through a OpenAI prompt. And along inside of this, what we can do is not only are we passing the data into a prompt. So for example, like all the question answers, or the answers to the questions that the customer filled in, we pass it through OpenAI. But what we can do is we can also pass it through a Google Doc, which has a bunch of information around the product. So for example, let's say you're doing roof analysis or damp assessments or any kind of product, you would need a lot of information around that product, maybe even personalized to your business or personalized to that client, to help OpenAI come out with the best possible output prompt. Okay. So what we do is we pass it through there, and then we pass it into OpenAI. And what OpenAI does is it basically produces us the output, essentially the personalized message that we want to then send back into Bolt. Okay. And you could do personalized message, you could do voice note, you could do all sorts of things with this, right? And then again, we put that information back into Bolt. And during this entire process, Bolt is kind of waiting for the information to come back. So we send and receive webhook. Okay. And for those who don't know what webhook is, all a webhook is, it's just basically transferring data from one tool to another tool, right? And I'm going to walk you through how that looks in just a second. So now we understand the premise of this and how it works. Let's first understand how these tools are built. So for the argument of this, I'm going to open up another ChatGPT, and I'm just going to I'm not going to do it all from scratch. I'm just going to walk you through kind of how I would do this. So what I would usually do is I would start with an idea. So let's say, for example, rather than doing a damp assessment, we wanted to do a roof assessment to maybe assess the structural integrity and any potential roof issues that we might be having, and create a roof assessment quiz. So we're going to get ChatGPT, and we're going to say, I am looking to build an interactive, in fact, Bolt.New that helps users get an assessment of their roof and any potential issues. Whether those issues are severe or whether those issues are aesthetic, I then want to provide a written analysis of their roof and also give the user an option to upload a photo of the outside of their roof. I'm going to put to be used in that analysis. Optional. I want the branding to be clean, modern, using using white, grey, and light blue themes. Please could you provide me with a prompt for Bolt.New? Obviously, you could give the client's logo or something to help it with the branding, but for now, I'm just going to do this. So we're just going to post this and wait for the prompt to come out. So you can see it's generating the prompt. Create an interactive interactive web-based quiz that helps users assess the condition of their roof. The quiz should ask a series of questions to determine if they have potential roof issues, categorized into severe, e.g. leaks, missing shingles. You get the idea. After completing the quiz, please generate a personalized written analysis. Now, we don't want it to generate, we don't want Bolt to generate the analysis, as we will be using a webhook to transfer the data from Bolt into make first, then sending it back. So I generally just give it prompts and I keep going through it and looking through it and kind of giving it more feedback. And I'm also going to say I would like you to give all the questions and answers include icons in the answers. And I also want the answers to be multi-step radio button style quiz question. Let's prompt that and then wait for a response. Okay, so we've got our revised Bolt.New prompt. Okay, build a multi-step quiz for assessing roof conditions. Each question should be on its own screen. Use radio button style answers with icons be required before proceeding. At the end of the quiz, collect all data and send a webhook. I'll connect to make.com. No results, and that's just need to be shown within the app. And an optional image upload if you can upload a photo of their roof exterior. This should be sent via webhook too. Okay, cool. So then what we can do is we can actually include that image in our webhook analysis, because actually OpenAI can actually analyze images, which is very, very cool. So we can use that as part of our analysis. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy and paste this. And what I'll do is I'm going to build the front end of this, and then I'm going to walk you through my back end and how I built mine. And that's going to help you to build yours. So let's go to Bolt.New, and obviously you would need to create an account before doing this. We're going to go ahead and click paste. I'm just going to click submit. We're going to see what comes back. And if you go to code here, what you'll be able to see is it's thinking at the moment. You can see down here it's thinking. And then it's going to start coding this front end page. And the cool thing about these pages, obviously they're fully coding here. It's fully customized, but also it's obviously like hard coded. So it's extremely fast to load. So if you're running ads into pages built on ClickFunnels or Go High Level, one of the most common problems is that they're very slow. They load in like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, right? Whereas this will be under a second load speed because it's custom coded, right? It's a hard coded page, so it's going to be extremely quick to load. So what we'll do is we'll take a break. We'll come back in a few minutes once our preview has been generated. I'll show you the front end preview, and then I'll show you the back end and explain how the back end works as well. And whilst this is just loading, I just want to take a quick moment to mention this is just sort of part of my Inner Circle community where we teach a lot of this stuff. So if you want to learn how to actually supercharge your service, and whether you're a actual business owner or an agency owner and you want to actually supercharge your service, generate high quality leads, which your clients actually close and make good money, that's all the stuff that we teach. We help you with the service delivery side of launching a profitable and successful meta ads, local ads agency. So if you want to schedule a call with us today, find out a little bit more about that, I'll leave a link down below. Okay, back to the video. Okay, cool. So we've got our kind of first draft here that says it's creates a comprehensive roof condition assessment quiz that meets all your requirements. Okay, so let's just go through this and see what the front end looks like. So how old is your roof? We've got multiple questions. So let's go with 10 to 20 years. We've got, have you noticed any visible damage? Yes, significant damage or minor cosmetic damage. We'll click next. Have you seen any leaks or water stains inside your home? Yes, active leak or ceiling stain, past water stains, now dry. You get the idea. So just click next. Has your home experienced recent severe weather? Is there any moss, algae, or plant growth on the roof? That's so some visible. Are you satisfied with how your roof looks? I'm gonna go, it's okay. Have you had any roof repairs? I'm gonna go minor touch-ups. And then you can then select a photo of your roof. Optional. Now, obviously, I can just click submit. So what I'll do is I'll grab a photo of a roof and upload it. Okay, I've downloaded a photo of a roof. So let's upload. That might not work. No, that's not going to work. We'll have to upload it manually. Obviously, on phone, it would be easy. You could then select camera, and it would work pretty well. So let's just open that JPEG, and we'll click submit. And then what that's then going to do is, it's got potential problems. Have a quick look. Now, obviously, there's some sort of error. Usually, I just click attempt fix, or I would copy and paste it into ChatGPT, but you are going to get errors. However, I think the main error here is that we don't have an outcome after this survey. So what we'd need to do is then pull that data into Make. So what I will quickly do is I'll quickly show you how we would set the Make backend up so you can understand exactly how this would work. So let's jump into Make, and you can see here we've got 5 modules here. In fact, we've got 4 modules here because this is a router module, and all a router module does is it just allows us to send data into multiple spots. So for example, if we've got data coming in from one place and we've got a router here, what we can then do is we can take that data and we can do multiple things with that data. So it just allows us to send it in one direction. So for example, the data go to a spreadsheet here, and then this data, we want to send that back to our Bolt builder, right? So we could do 2 things with that data, and we just would need a router to do that. So the only reason I put a router here is what I plan to do is be able to send that data into like Go High Level, for example, send it into my spreadsheet or whatever I want to do with it. That's why I've added a router in that position. But what we can see here is we've got a custom webhook. In fact, I'll go into what I first do is show you the outputs of each of these things. So all the custom webhook is doing, you can see it's if we just zoom in here, editor, we can see that this is pulling in all the different outputs, such as, like terrace house, pre-1930s, unsure and damp proofing, symptoms. We've got multiple symptoms, rooms affected, kitchen, bathroom. So it's pulling in all the question answers. What the Google Doc is doing, which is the most interesting part of this video, is this is pulling a bunch of information around, you can see here, a bunch of information around UK damp proofing solutions. So if we go to, I open up a Google Doc and show you, what I've done is I've actually got ChatGPT to create me an analysis of, like a full analysis of damp proofing, home damp proofing, with possible, causes, possible risk factors, possible solutions, and I pulled that doc, and it's like a 5-page document, which I just wanted. You don't have to use this, you could just prompt directly, but if you, for example, let's say your client has certain products and stuff that they offer, or solutions that they offer, you don't want AI just going crazy, you want it referencing something. So I just give it this reference document, which it is doing. So it's basically getting content of that document here. We then have our OpenAI module, which is taking, we can see if we go to the messages, content, we can go, you are a professional damp risk assessor specializing in UK homes. And so it's giving it the prompt. And I'll jump into my builder in a second and show you how to set this up. And it's referencing that Google Doc, and it's you can see all that Google Doc information is here in that analysis. You can see it all in there. And then it's producing an output, which you can see is the analysis that we are providing. And then all we are doing is sending that data back into Bolt to be able to analyze that data, like I showed you. If I grab my one here, and we're sending it in here, and all the customizations that we've done, such as the images, the personal message, and then the call booking link, and all those things is all done within Bolt. So all we're doing within Make is the actual data part of this quiz, which is kind of what we're doing. So that is the structure of how this works. Let's just jump into the edit so I can show you this. Again, very, very simple webhook module here. We create the webhook module inside of Make, and then what we do is we grab this webhook URL, go into Bolt, and say, please transfer all the data to this webhook, and then wait for the response to output that on the confirmation page. We then have the Google Doc, which again is just a get content of a document, and we just selected our Google Doc here. We've then got the Chat GPT, which is a create a chat completion doc. And you can see here, we've got this text content, which says, you're a professional damp risk assessor specializing in UK homes. Use provided reference material to identify damp issues, causes, solutions based on users' responses. Here is a reference guide, and here are the answers. We plugged all the answers in, and then I've just said, use the reference guide to provide a concise risk analysis, 3 to 6 sentences, and I've also asked it to personalize it on the name, explain who it is, delivering it, and also to upsell them the assessment at the end of that as well. And then we have the output, which is very, very simple. It's just a webhook response. And all we're doing is taking the result of that here in the body of that and saving it. And once you've done that, you can publish, and that will now work, right? Okay, very, very cool. That is the full part of it. Now, I am interested in doing more of these kinds of YouTube videos where I basically build these kind of AI campaigns. I do different videos around different areas of it. So this would be kind of like the funnel, or like the AI front end, and I could do an AI back end. I could do the AI ads, and I could build out all of those parts to this video. So if you guys want to see that, make sure that you drop a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out the future uploads. But in this video, I wanted to focus mainly on just showing you how cool this is and just opening just some possibilities to what you can do and what you can build utilizing AI. I think it's an extremely powerful feature. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like. And if you want more parts to this series, again, please make sure you drop that in a comment down below so that I know. And again, like I mentioned, if you want to join my local ads accelerator, we'll teach this stuff, then I'll leave a link down below where you can book as well. Otherwise, I will see you guys in my next YouTube video.